Good morning. I'm Trisha Kwan. I don't know if I've met you in person. Some of you I may have met and others I have not. I'm so excited about this class. I think from here on out it's just going to be fun. Although I really enjoyed your papers, thank you so much for your hard work. From this point in the semester till the end, we're pretty much going to just be telling stories. I can't wait to hear your stories, and I have a few that I will share as well. It's actually a little awkward to me to tell stories to the video camera. I have to tell you, I'm accustomed to telling in front of a live audience. I think you will like that much better. I apologize for the poor quality of the video. I'm videoing on my Mac computer. I don't have someone here right now to hold a camera and videotape me. So I said, well, the video on the Mac will work. You can also use an iPhone video or an iPod Touch video. There are flip cams, which I have a couple of that I could use as well, or a regular camcorder video will work. So, you know, whatever is most convenient for you. First, I'm going to tell you a short story that's an example of Stories Are Everywhere, which is our theme this week, and every week we'll have a different theme. This story is not going to be a long story. In fact, I'll probably tell you 2 stories. It is not going to be a long story. This assignment will not take you a long time to complete. It'll take you longer to watch everyone else's story than it will to actually complete your own. But have fun with this. I want you not to feel pressure. You're going to get the points just for doing the story. So you are not going to lose points if you're not perfect, because that's not what storytelling is about. It's not about being perfect. So just, you know, relax, loosen up a little bit, do your best. I want you to enjoy this and have fun. So stories are everywhere. There are a lot of different ways to do this activity, but for this particular activity, I'm going to talk about using objects to remind you of stories. What I want you to get from this is that you have a lot of stories inside of you. Every person has a lot of stories. You have many stories that you don't even maybe even think about or realize that you have. But we all have a multitude of stories that are inside us just kind of waiting to get out. This activity works great with kids, so you might want to use it with children whenever you get a chance. Basically, what I did is I went around my house, and I'm in my house right now, and I just looked for objects that reminded me of certain stories, that things that had happened in my life. There are things like I have this little pin holder golf bag, and my husband and I love to play golf. This reminds me of a lot of stories. This is not what I'm going to use for my story, but that's one possibility. I have photos of my family. We went on trip. This was on a trip to Colorado. Photos often remind us of stories, but even just other objects, you'll be amazed. Sorry, I'm trying to put my photo away. You'll be amazed what will remind you of stories as you look around your house. I've had people come up with stories from tape dispensers, and there was one person who used a roll of toilet paper. That's just, you know, kind of scary, but it was a great story. As you look around your house, you will see things and think, oh, that reminds me of this time, or that reminds me of that time. The particular object that I chose was a car. This is one of my son's little cars. I have 5 children, and my 5-year-old has this little remote control. It's missing its batteries right now, but it's really cool. It's a remote control car. Now, this didn't remind me of a time that I played with the car. It actually reminded me of something that happened in the car on the way home from our trip. This summer, we went to Colorado. There are 7 of us in the family, so my husband and the 5 kids. We don't have this kind of car that we travel in. We actually have a minivan, but that doesn't matter because this car reminded me of the trip. So anyway, we're coming home, and we like to drive at night, because if you have 5 kids, what do they do as soon as you get into the car? They start fighting with each other. Oh my gosh. You think I'm going to be crazy if they don't stop fighting. So we decided that we would drive at night because at night they sleep. Kids have this great ability to sleep no matter where they are. If they're tired, they can sleep sitting up. And so we said, okay, let's drive at night. So we're on our way home. It's the middle of the night. I think it was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have a really hard time staying awake at night, but I also have a hard time sleeping sitting up. I have some back issues and I was so uncomfortable. But my husband is a night owl, so he has no trouble staying up all night. He was driving. I had been kind of napping and I woke up, and we're really out in the middle of nowhere off in the Panhandle area of Texas somewhere on our way back to Fort Worth, which is where I live. So I looked up and he looked at me and I said, what's wrong? Because he seemed a little bit nervous. And he said, well, the gas light just came on and I didn't realize that we were this low on gas. And I said, oh, well, how far is it to the next gas station? And he said, about 20 miles. I looked it up on the GPS and the gas light just came on and we're 20 miles to the next gas station. So now this is a fairly new minivan for me, and you know, I try not to let the gas light come on. I like to, when the gas gets below quarter of a tank, I like to go fill it up. But my husband likes to push that car for every little mile he can get out of it in one tank of gas. Somehow I think he thinks he's saving money by using up all the gas in the tank before filling it up. I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, he likes to push it. And in this particular instance, he was a little concerned because it was the middle of the night. It was hot. It was, you know, summertime in Texas. And there we were driving along with 5 kids in the car in the middle of nowhere. And there was a distinct possibility we were going to run out of gas. So I said, well, supposedly the car can go 20 miles after the light comes on. So we'll see what happens. So, you know, we're just sitting there. We're really quiet, actually. It's quiet in the car. All the kids are asleep and we're driving. And it's very, very, very dark. There's like, the only light is from like the reflectors on the side of the road and from our headlights. So we're driving along and I'm thinking, you know, what are we going to do if we run out of gas? Because is he going to walk? Because it could be several miles still. I don't really want to walk, but I guess I could. I don't know. We've got to, you know, consider the children too. Should we try to call the police and have them bring us gas? All that's going through my head. So we're just sitting there driving along, when all of a sudden, from the side of the road, a very large, big cat, some kind of wild cat, ran across the road right in front of our car. And it was pretty good size, and it was very fast. But it was definitely a large cat. Not a kitty cat either. It was some kind of wild mountain cat. So we saw that, and we were, you know, kind of startled. I didn't even know that we had big cats in Texas. So I turned and I looked at him and I said, okay, if we run out of gas, you are walking to the gas station. I am staying in the car. And that is my story. That